Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Potential Steelers WR trade target no-show for off-season workouts, report. Other than adding Van Jefferson and Quez Watkins on league minimum contracts, the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't made any noteworthy additions at wide receiver this offseason. While early in NFL free agency, the Steelers expressed interest in Tyler Boyd, the team has been slow to make him or another receiver an enticing offer. But their patience could possibly pay off because of the contract situation with Courtland Sutton. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that Sutton failed to show up for voluntary workouts for the Denver Broncos on April 15. Although Sutton is not required to attend the workouts, Pelissero suggested Sutton is beginning to hold out for a contract extension. Broncos WR Courtland Sutton did not report Monday for voluntary workouts as he seeks a new contract, per source, wrote Pelissero on X, formerly Twitter. Sutton is going on his 10th starting QB in 7 seasons and has only $2 million guaranteed left on his deal. Sutton broke out with 72 catches and 1,112 receiving yards during a Pro Bowl season in 2019. But then he suffered a torn ACL in Week 2 of the 2020 season and hasn't been able to reach the 1,000-yard plateau again. Sutton has been consistent, though, posting at least 770 receiving yards each of the last 3 seasons. He also had 10 receiving touchdowns with Russell Wilson as his quarterback in 2023. Jefferson and Watkins have been 600-yard receivers in the past, but not on a consistent basis. Last season, the two wideouts combined for only 351 receiving yards. As the roster stands now, one of those two veterans or Calvin Austin III is the team's number 2 wideout behind George Pickens. A lot of pundits have presumed that the Steelers will select a receiver early in the 2024 draft. That may very well be the case, but if it's not in the first round, the Steelers could still need an upgrade at WR2 for the 2024 roster. Sutton, who has eclipsed 700 yards 5 times in 6 seasons, despite a revolving door at quarterback in Denver, would represent that. He had 59 catches and 772 receiving yards to go with his 10 touchdowns last season. Sutton has 2 years left on his current contract. Typically, players with 2 years remaining on their deals don't have much leverage in extension discussions. But if Sutton is steadfast in his desire for a new deal and sits out workouts once they become required, there could be an opening for the Steelers to buy low on the disgruntled receiver. The 28-year-old receiver is an obvious fit from a production standpoint. He hasn't been the same down-the-field threat since his ACL injury, but Pickens plays that role in Pittsburgh's offense. Opposite Pickens, Sutton could fill the reliable, possession receiver job that Deontay Johnson did for many years. Additionally, Sutton has experience working with Wilson. In Wilson's 29 starts with the Broncos, the veteran receiver posted 119 receptions, 1,576 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns. Adding Sutton would not only make the Steelers' offense more complete for its quarterback, it would give Wilson a familiar target on the field and friendly face for the locker room. However, the big question the Steelers might have to answer if they pursue Sutton is whether they are willing to offer him a contract extension. If Sutton pushes himself out of Denver, it will likely be to a team who will sign him to a new deal. With Sutton approaching 30 years old and Pickens' rookie contract expiring in 2 years, it's not guaranteed the Steelers will be interested in Sutton beyond his current contract. Steelers could have new trade partner. The Pittsburgh Steelers may have a second trade suitor. After rumors started circulating about the Buffalo Bills swapping the 28th pick for the 20th, many started to theorize of other teams making moves, and it appears a second team could make sense for Pittsburgh. ESPN's Jordan Reed believes the Arizona Cardinals could be looking to make a move during the NFL draft. But instead of moving back from pick number 4, they'd move up from their second-round spot. It shouldn't come as a surprise if Arizona gets aggressive and attempts to move up from number 27 for a cornerback on day 1, Reed writes. Murphy Bunting is more of a CB2. There's a glaring need for a high-upside CB1, and Nate Wiggins, Clemson, and Kool-Aid McKinstry, Alabama, could be day-one options for a roster still in the talent collection portion of its rebuild. The Steelers sit in a prime spot to make a move with, but would dropping all the way to the second round be too much? If Arizona is looking for a cornerback, they should have options at 20. Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins, McKinstry, and maybe Cooper DeJean could be available with the selection. Meanwhile, the Steelers could move back and still select their top position of need, a center. With Graham Barton being the only player almost certainly viewed as a first-round pick, Pittsburgh could choose from Jackson Powers-Johnson and Zach Frazier in the second round, all while adding another pick deeper in the draft. The rumored Bills trade added a second-round selection to the Steelers' draft board. With Arizona, it might be a third or fourth. Still, it could be a move Pittsburgh considers if they want more picks and don't have a player they're locked in on at number 20. Steelers could make CB trade with Bengals. The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't been afraid to be aggressive this offseason. To this point, they've traded wide receiver Deontay Johnson and quarterback Kenny Pickett, acquired Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears and signed Russell Wilson, Patrick Queen and Deshaun Elliott, all making major headlines due to the height of the deals. Maybe they aren't done. Right now, rumors are swirling about the Steelers looking at wide receivers, with Brandon Ayuk leading the news cycle. But if San Francisco and Pittsburgh can't work out a deal, the Steelers may look elsewhere to acquire more resources. It won't be for a wide receiver, but maybe a defensive back makes sense for this team. 2 years ago, the Bengals used their first-round pick on defensive back Dax Hill. Since then, he's been demoted, not working out at the safety position, forcing the team to sign Geno Stone and Von Bell. Cincinnati informed him they would look elsewhere, and now, the question is where he'll play in 2024. I appreciate that, just having that conversation before things turned out and just hearing them out on why they did the things they did, Hill told the team site. Whatever happened, I can't control that. I'm just going to put my best foot forward. I'm not really stressing out about what's to come. I've been through so much the first 2 years, it's nothing that I'm not used to. We'll see how things go, but everything's kind of just up in the air. We'll see how things go and just play it from there. Whatever they ask of me, whatever that is, I'm going to do it. But I mean, whatever the position that I'll be in, I'm going to give it my all. Cincinnati still has Mike Hilton under contract, clearing a need for a slot cornerback. Hill has experience playing both positions in college, but in the Bengals defense, he doesn't really have a place to insert himself. Meanwhile, he would fit with ease in Pittsburgh's. The Steelers need a slot cornerback. Hill provides that with plenty of upside and likely wouldn't cost an arm and a leg due to his decreased role in Cincinnati. If he's looking for an opportunity and the Bengals are looking for cost before realizing they don't have a place for him, why wouldn't a trade work? The Steelers have pulled off in-division trades before. A T. Higgins splash may be out of the realm of possibilities, but Hill may be sliding enough that Cincinnati is willing to take a risk. With 2 years left on his rookie deal and the potential of a fifth-year option, Hill is worth a move for a day 2 or lower pick. And if the Steelers feel Cincinnati would even consider it, they should and could make a call. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Dax Hill? Leave your opinion in the comments.